Hello, happy 4th of July.
Everyone, happy oops, sorry.
You're fine.
I'm Joelle. Yes.
And I'm Shauna. It's not
Yeah,
like us to not talk over each other, so we're just gonna do
right.
that a little bit here and there. You guys just bear
How
with
it
us a little
is.
bit.
And we're doing a little different today. We're not live because it is the 4th of July. So we recording and everybody's probably out celebrating barbecues, fireworks, and all that fun stuff. But we wanted to stop and take a minute and talk about a different kind of freedom, your spiritual sovereignty.
Yes.
And it says, because freedom isn't just about what's outside you, it's what's on the inside as well, and reclaiming
Yeah.
your power, if you will. Kind of. Does that
Which is
sound
something we
right?
both had to do to get to where we're at, right?
Right, right.
We had to learn how we connect to ourselves, how
Yeah,
we learn more about ourselves, and how we release a lot of the external,
right.
and have had to review our beliefs
Yeah,
and see what we believe, what we don't, what's been placed on us, what's not. Like all
yeah.
of those pieces
Because
have
you're
all
growing up, your family tells you what to believe basically in a lot of families. It's like because that's what they believe, that's what you have to believe. And
I do think
oh,
there's some automatic adopting of what we see
yeah,
our parents believing,
right,
right? I don't even think that for, some families they're really open, but I,
right.
I think that we automatically adopt it. Like
Yeah,
where
that
else are we
makes
going to
sense.
gather it
Yeah.
from? Right.
You
And
see
some
them
are
doing
very
it and
forceful.
saying it, so, their mom and dad, it must be true, because they're
They know everything, don't they?
right,
Who we're
to a little
children.
kid, they do.
It's not until we grow up that we find out they really don't. They're just
Right.
doing their best
Winging it
and
like
mucking
we
through
are.
life. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and a little about the personal sovereignty. It's like we say, it's standing in your fully in your own energy, just emotionally, mentally, energetically, and
Yeah.
it's being authentically you. Not what
And in
you
your
think.
truth,
Yes, not what
your truth.
someone else wants you to
Not
be.
Joelle's truth, not my truth, not your mom and dad's
Right.
truth, your truth.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's not about cutting people off or anything. You just
Yeah.
be you. And people might fall off, but that's because they can't control you or whatnot
Yeah.
anymore. And
Or they don't
understand,
jive anymore,
right?
right? Like the
Right.
energy, and that is something that happens as we kind of
Oh,
learn some of this stuff and we start setting boundaries.
yeah,
Boundary setting is so important, and it's a huge part of our sovereignty is to
absolutely.
be like, wait a minute, it's okay for you to believe that. I just don't believe it.
A lot,
That's not my truth.
absolutely, absolutely, and
Let
not
them
be feel guilty about it either. You know,
and
do
you
not
don't have
feel
to get them
guilty
to
about having
understand.
boundaries at all. That was a big
Yeah.
one for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Releasing the other person agreeing with you. Be
right?
like, "Oh, that's fascinating. I
No,
see it this way." This is, like, how I learned to kind of shuck that off,
yeah,
was, like, I would be having conversation with somebody about something, that's charged, probably something of the world,
yeah,
and, we have different opinions. So some people, you just don't share that opinion with them, and
right,
that's fine. That's also part of sovereignty, I think,
right,
is holding your own truth and just letting them talk about theirs
yeah,
and being like, "That's pretty interesting." There are times that I would approach somebody and be like, "Well, I don't see it that way. I see it like this. Isn't that interesting?
yeah,
It's really interesting we see it differently, but I'm gonna keep that in mind." And usually
yeah,
that kind of helps to diffuse the
right,
situation.
yeah,
But yeah, it's about us being willing and able to stand in our own truth, even if we're listening to somebody else that has a totally different opinion or thought
right,
process about something.
right,
It's huge. That's freeing, like there's no tomorrow.
right.
If you haven't achieved that, I say practice that as much as you can.
Yeah, don't let and brain freeze.
We don't want you to have a
I
closed
used to
mind.
get
Don't
into
just
not
adopt
really arguments, but get aggravated with people because I'm like, no, that's not right. And it's like, you know what? That's my belief. It's not theirs. And I needed to learn to let that go. As like you said, just they're on their path, you're on your path, and you're not going to change anybody's mind, just like they're not going to change yours. So just be at peace with it. And
right. And also be willing to listen because,
yeah,
when I achieved, I like to hear other people's opinions, even if I
right.
don't agree with them.
Yeah,
And I don't always share mine because I don't always feel like it's pertinent in the moment.
right.
I found that when I turned on my curiosity and I'm like, how did you arrive at that? Like,
Yeah.
that information come from? Like, sometimes just getting people to think about their beliefs was more helpful than anything.
Right.
So I kind of turned on that curiosity instead of that right and wrong thing. Like, I
Right.
tried to let go of the right and wrong. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. I mean, we
Yeah.
all have different experiences, different truths. We come from different aspects of the universe,
Yeah.
I mean, in all
Absolutely.
reality, right? So
Right.
we have different thoughts processes and we have different beliefs. And when I learned how to turn on that curiosity and be like,
That's a good point.
where'd that come from? How did you come to that? Like, how
Yeah.
did you, like, because maybe they're right and we're wrong. Who knows? Who
Right.
knows who's right and wrong?
But it is good
It's
to
good.
hear other points of view too.
Yeah.
It does kind of.
It helps the growth,
Thank
right?
you.
It
My
really
mind
helps the
keeps going
spiritual
blank.
growth. That's okay. So this morning, I'm not feeling well, and Joelle was doing okay. And then we're like, okay, the weight of it's going to have to be on you. And
Yeah,
now we're kind of shifting a little, which is good. But
it's funny.
welcome to Awkward Channeling, where we will be
Yeah,
silly and shift
and
back and forth.
absolutely. And I think a lot of this is coming about now because we are getting closer to ascension, and our guides are wanting more people to stand in their own power
Very
and
true. Mhm.
reclaim their sovereignty and just be like,
Mhm.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
not going to live under your thumbs anymore. And I think that's why so much of the crazy energy is coming in, because they're like, no, we don't want you
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
And
There
they're
there
putting
has
up a
been
resistance. Yeah.
there has been a lot of shifting, a lot
Right.
of changing energy, a lot, and most for me lately has been weird. Where like all of a sudden I'm just like I feel like I might be walking in a different world right now. Like something's weird, something has
Yeah.
changed, and there's been a lot of that over the last 10 years or more. But
Yeah.
these last couple years and this next couple years is going to be big. I
Yeah.
think for all the changes taking place because now we're seeing change happening out in the world
Yeah.
too.
It's sometimes I'll be
So it's
walking and it's like I'll have to shake because it doesn't feel real.
yeah,
It's so weird. It's
a
like
lot of stuff we do doesn't feel real.
right, but it's just like I can't really explain it, but it's like, and I guess it's all the shifts coming in and everything. It's just like strange.
Yeah, there's just a lot of different energy. And you know, I mean, I guess it just depends on how you look at everything, but there's a bit of a struggle as to getting over the hump, and getting to where we are shifting,
Yeah,
and they talk about ascension. We talk about the 26,000 year cycle of the
right.
planets and
Yeah,
how we're shifting back, like the earth is changing and shifting, and it's a natural, normal cycle.
right.
This is something that happens. We live a certain way for 26,000 years, and then we shift and we live another way like that happens. That is actually kind of factual when you look at planets, I guess, but not that
Yeah,
I know a lot about that. There's just a lot happening. So if you're feeling kind of funky, I'm going to tell you ground. Walk
absolutely.
outside, put your feet on the earth,
I've been
get
getting
your
that
shoes
message
off.
so much, channeling.
Yes. And they're trying so hard to get me to do that. Go
Yeah,
outside. I'm like, really?
yeah. And, and I
But
keep
yeah,
hearing
it's
like at
really,
least 20 minutes.
yeah.
Just let the sunlight hit you as well, because there's a lot coming
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
from the sun as well.
And not one of us isn't vitamin D deficient, so head out
Right.
into the sun a little bit, get a little sun if you can.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of little things that we could do to kind of reclaim the sovereignty. Part of it
Right.
is letting go of the right and wrong piece and
Yeah.
being like, okay, I believe this and they believe that, and that's fine. We're
Mhm.
all cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally did that in a relationship where I was like, honey, you don't need to convince me of something I don't believe in. It's fine.
Right.
You could be wrong and I can be wrong in your eyes. What difference does it make? How is
Right.
that changing our lives? Not changing anything. Just respecting the fact that we're all unique, which is kind of, I mean, in a sense, it's part of our programming is we aren't unique,
Right.
but we are so unique.
Yes.
So opening to that piece, saying, hey, we're all unique beings.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay
Right.
that you do that and you like that or you believe that. I'm over here believing this. And you know what? In 6 months, I might believe what you believe. I don't know.
Right.
I,
Right.
taking that like curiosity and that wanting to just expand to whatever is true, opening to whatever is true, and not
Yeah.
being in the denial pieces, those were really helpful.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and it takes practice, time,
That's right.
frustration. I've been doing it for years and I'm kind of
Yeah.
there.
And,
There's
and
still
there's
moments.
a lot of people that, and I think that's why the fear has been coming up so much lately because people do have that fear of
Oh,
standing up and
yeah.
being their true. I still struggle with it, and should I put
I
up the
think
sigil?
huh?
Should I put up the sigil?
Yeah. Do we have the sigil?
Oh, I have it on this computer. Let me bring it
Okay.
in real quick. I'm
Let's
sorry.
let's bring it in.
It
Okay, so Joelle has the sigil that she has made recently, and it's it's beautiful. The energy of it is really beautiful.
yeah.
So I'll let her talk about that.
Okay. It's kind of busy. It came in yesterday. I pulled a personal card and I got transcending fear. And that's been
Mm.
the it keeps coming in for me because like I said, the standing in your truth, I still have a fear of that. And it
Mhm.
came from Archangel Metatron, and it's kind of busy because there were some galactics here with him as well.
So this is about releasing fear or
Releasing
transcending fear?
transcending the fear, releasing it, letting it go.
Transcending the
I
fear.
was asking questions about it, and I kept getting, "It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, just sit with it, meditate with it, whatever you feel." There's you don't have to look at any one spot, just
So we'll
what you
just take a
feel
minute.
you need to do is, you know
I find it really kind of calming.
yeah.
I found it kind of grounding in a sense and just like I don't
Yeah.
know, it's almost like nothing really matters, like
Yeah.
fear wise, like all of that just kind of drains down. I felt like it went into the earth for me
And I
with this.
I kinda think that in the middle, all those squares is kinda like
Yeah,
pulling it
yeah.
away, if you will, and it just
It
I was
looks almost
like,
like a long hallway,
yeah, and
like
it's like,
a
I said,
portal.
I think I'm just gonna have to print that out and put it on my wall because it just so I
It's a
can
great
look
one.
up at it, it just
Yeah,
and when I
yeah,
was doing it, I'm like, this is too much," and they're like, "Don't stop." I'm like, "Okay,"
okay. I
and
will have her post this on our channel.
oh,
It's
okay.
been posted in Facebook on your page?
I haven't
Was it?
done it on my page yet. I just did it on Rachel's this morning when she asked for the light language. So yeah,
Okay. We'll post it on our channel so that y'all can take a look at it. I think it's perfect
yeah,
for the 4th of July. Releasing the fear of the change, releasing the fear of what we're seeing that has been going on for so
absolutely.
long. Let it all go. It's changing.
Yeah. Ooh. And I
So
love
just take
the little starburst on the ends look like fireworks. Don't they?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it just
It's really beautiful.
it was very powerful when I was doing it, and I was like, and it's the first one I've done in about a month too. He came through really, or they did. I don't know who all was here, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it felt a little it felt different for Joelle. She was very
oh
buzzy
yeah,
while she was channeling it, so
yeah,
it's very interesting. I haven't done any sigils in a while
yeah.
either,
Yeah,
um,
because
but
he definitely wasn't alone. It was Archangel Metatron and someone else.
mhm, yeah,
At least 2, if not more.
yeah, yeah. So, feel free to take a screenshot and look at this a little bit for yourselves,
Yeah,
or, watch for it to show up on the channel in the next, in the next
yeah.
day or 2, and, see if it doesn't help you. I know that we have a channel coming through from
Melchizedek? Oh,
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek, yes. And
I
I'll
took
put
that
his
down,
picture
sorry.
up in case y'all yeah.
And yeah. this
Really
is a
cool.
depiction from the Keepers of the Light deck,
Yeah, Kyle Gray.
one of my favorites, Kyle Gray's deck.
Yeah.
Um, but he is gonna give us some message through Joelle, hopefully today.
I could bring him in.
Ooh, I feel his buzziness.
Yeah.
You know,
Ooh, was that you in yesterday helping with that? I think it
I
was.
think it was. I was thinking that earlier. Yeah, that's why he
Oh,
wants to
I
come
love
here
that.
today.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because it's like I'm feeling the same buzzies.
this
Okay.
Metatron and Melchizedek,
Kind of cool.
or however you say his name. Like,
Sorry, let me get back.
that's all right.
You are correct. I was there along with Metatron doing that sigil because it is time to let go and release the fear that you are all holding and stand in your true power. It is time for you to show your light to the world, all of you. Be the starburst, if you will, because it only takes a flicker to light the spark in someone else. When they see you, it will encourage them to show their light as well, and so on and so on. It is time to break these chains of the oppression, for lack of a better word, that is keeping so many of you from shining your light and knowing your true self and your true knowledge. That is where the true freedom lies. Do not let others hold you down any longer. And do not fear of anyone coming at you. You are far too protected for that now. They may try, but they will not succeed. They know they will not win. This is a war in a sense, but they will not win at all. And they know this. That is why they are throwing so much at you at this time. They are trying to keep you in a state of fear. All of the fears that you see on the TVs, if you will, do not let that bother you, because the things going on with the earth right now, as Shauna mentioned, are natural. They are normal. Bad will happen. Yes, the poles will shift, but it will not be the calamity that you were being told. They have shifted before. So that is not new either. It is bringing on the new earth. Earth is releasing all of the things that she has been holding for far too long. It's kind of like a cup overflowing, if you will. When you think about it, when you ground, all of your negativity will go into the earth, and she has to get rid of it herself, just like you do. That is all that is happening at this time. So let the fear go and know we stand behind you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That was great.
That was kind of cool.
It was fun. Yeah, for
It's kind of
sure.
cool about, that, wow, the earth just having to get, you don't think about the earth having to get rid of the negative energy either. I don't.
I do. I do.
Yeah.
Only because sometimes I send it, and my understanding is the Earth can
Mm,
transmute it. But I don't. I don't.
you.
What am I trying to say? I feel like the negativity that has been on and surrounding us for so long
Yeah.
has kind of. You're muted. The
It's
dogs are
being kind
barking.
of loud here right now. So
She's got a lot of things going on in our house today, and the dogs just keep flipping out. So I'm like, "Wait, what are you doing?" Sorry.
Yeah, it sounds like the kids are trying to play with them down there too, but at least they
Yeah.
waited until I got the channel over, so
Right. That was nice. That was nice. Yeah. Anyhow, where were we?
yeah. And the earth and the when we ground, how everything goes.
Yeah, yeah. I just think there's been so much, and I think that not only, what's been happening on the earth, but what's happening kind of around it with all the energies and
Yeah,
the denser energies, the denser place we were in the universe, and how that is all kind of shifting at that
right,
26,000 mark. I think
right.
that now she's able to release more and more. And, I talk to people all the time and they're like, it just feels like the world is going to shit. And
Yeah,
I'm like, it's really not. It's been like this for
yeah,
centuries and you couldn't see it. We weren't allowed to see it. The light was not present enough for us to see it. And now you're seeing it. And when we see it, that's when change takes place.
yeah.
Because we aren't awful. Like humans aren't
No.
awful, but we've been living in a very dense negative sense for a really long time.
Mhm.
So it's time to offload that and move into a more positive, balanced state. It's always going to be polarity here. I mean,
Right.
I don't I don't believe that we'll be all love and light, but I do believe it will be much more balanced
Oh,
and
yeah,
much softer than it has
yeah.
been. I think we've
I
been
mean,
really
it's
off
remember
balance.
when I channeled Lucy and he talked about the dark it still will be darkness, but it's gonna be a different,
Different.
like the polarity, yin and yang. You got to have
Yeah.
the light and the dark, but
Yeah.
not like
The
it
light
is
is gonna be
here.
allowed to exist here now,
Yeah,
where it hasn't been for a while. Like, it's been really hard to be
yeah,
light-filled here, for quite a while,
absolutely.
and the programming is gonna change, like, everything's just
Right.
shifting. But what happens when that happens? All hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
It looks like everything's going to hell, but it's not.
No.
It's really just showing us how things have been, and we're like, "Hey, wait, we don't like this." We
Right.
don't want this to be this way. So that's kind of what's happening. And that's what we're asking you to do. Like, think about your sovereignty. Think
Yeah.
about you. Do, I mean, there were years that I acted in ways that I didn't like. And it took
Yeah.
me a long time to get a hold of that. But I was like, wait, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
That's not who I want to be. We can change all of that.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
coming
For
into
so long,
sovereignty,
I
coming
felt
into the
like
spiritual
I was
understandings,
just
like,
putting on like a performance for other people. This is how you want me to act. So, and
well, and
what,
we all have that. Like if we have a job and we go to work, we do
oh,
customer service,
yeah,
whatever. We have this customer service voice. We have this face. We have this, right? We don't have to do that anymore. It's time to just be kind, but be you. Like
right.
allow yourself to shine through. Drop all of the masks,
Yes.
all of them, which I think people have been doing. I would
Oh,
say that, the whole period of time where everything shut down and we all had to kind of face each other and ourselves a
right.
little bit more. There was definitely a lot of shifting and changing that happened through that
Oh,
period
yeah.
of time. Was it a fun experience? No. Did
No,
it help a lot of people? Yes.
it
Was it
did.
hard on everybody? Yes. But at the same time, there were a lot of people, from what I observed, there was, especially in communities, there was a lot more community happening. There was a lot more people that
Yeah.
began to pull together. There were some that were, following the programming,
Right.
but you know, there
Oh,
was a
yeah.
lot that changed, and that's kind of, you know, what we're. It's the same kind of thing that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Letting go of things that just don't
Oh,
fit
true.
you.
Yeah.
Get in touch with you, real you.
Your truth and what
Mhm.
makes you feel good. If
Mhm.
something makes you feel like, ooh, then it's not your truth. You want something that's going to make you happy and makes your
Interested,
soul
excited.
sing, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Something
And
that really feels like it connects with you, but
you
you
get
really have
excited
to.
about and just
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And you kind of have to go through yourself and your beliefs and some different things to figure that out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I know there were times where I just noticed I was like, gosh, I don't really believe that. Like I would say something and I'd be like, wait a minute. I don't really think that's true.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a habit and we get kind of stuck in that because we're human.
Yeah.
But as you start to notice those pieces, that means you're connecting to yourself.
Right.
That means you're beginning to realize what your truth really is in that moment. And it's okay to let those things go. Those
Yeah,
pieces, it's okay to let them leave. Absolutely.
absolutely. Ooh, excuse me.
I know I'm yelling too, so
His
I don't know.
energy is still here, and it's like, whew.
Does he have more to do, or is he just hanging
Yeah,
out?
I think he's just hanging out.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm surprised he didn't do a healing, but we don't need it because we have the
Yeah,
sigil, right? The sigil
right.
is where we need to be. And with that sigil, some sigils you'll have a like, look at this, look at that, look at this,
Right.
look at that, do this, but that's not the case. This
Yeah,
sigil is look at it in kind of a meditative state and just breathe into it. I'm gonna show it again.
yeah, and that's why
Look,
I kept asking questions. I'm like, "Y'all always have me channel with it and do heal," and they're like, "Nope, just sit with it." And I was like,
okay.
"Okay."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So again, we will be, posting that somewhere so
yeah.
that it'll be easier to find. I think that getting it out there might be a good idea.
Oh, yeah,
Get it
definitely.
out for more people. Um, let's see. Are there any other points that we should make, or anything you want to
I think
say?
we pretty much talked about they didn't want you to come through with the channel, did they?
No, because I'm not
Yeah,
feeling good today. So they were like, no, probably not a good
take it easy.
idea.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't I don't feel anything else, so I think that's
Hopefully we
all.
Yeah, hopefully we made some good helpful points for you
Yeah.
today. This is the first time we've pre-recorded something, so it's a little awkward for us.
Yeah, right, because I'm
Less
like,
awkward
"There's
because
no
we are.
comments to."
Right? There's nothing to do. It's very strange. So we appreciate it if you have hung
Yeah,
in with us this long. We're at like 27 minutes.
yeah,
So we hope that, those of you celebrating are having a safe,
very safe,
happy
yes, please be safe.
holiday. I will be staying home. But
Me too. I never go anywhere. There's too many crazies on the road around here.
it's too much for us. So we're the homebodies. But we
I'm
hope
on
that
the
you
little
all have a
highway for
wonderful,
kids,
happy
but that's it.
holiday. And we hope that you figure out how to connect deeper to yourself
Yeah,
as time goes on. And we both offer services. So,
yeah,
I do actually have a spiritual coaching program going on right
right.
now that you could look into. And that's, here's our websites. Divinetruthhealing.com is me. Oh, yours isn't up there.
Oh,
Yours is Celestial
Celestial Whispers
Whispers
Healing. Yeah,
healing.com. So celestialwhispershealing.com. I
I
should have
need to
that
change
in
that.
here, but I don't.
I thought I
But
did.
but
Duh.
you can always comment and ask for a link, and that's fine. We can
Yeah.
probably pop that in there. Anyhow, we hope that you all just have a great
Weekend.
week too,
Yeah,
and a
weekend.
weekend. Yeah, because we'll see you next week. We will be back live
Thanks
next
for
week.
watching.
Okay. Bye, everybody.